the way they do it in secret societies, like in Masonry, for example, there are degrees that you are tapped for once they observe how you act and what is your personality, and if you're a good vibe, if your vibe matches their tribe, then they'll be like, do you want to go further in this, or do you just want to stay in these lower degrees?
Do they feel you out?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to tell you, I've never seen anything weird. I've seen parties and fun times. I've seen sex, I've seen drugs, but nothing weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But depends. But when you hear this stuff, but if there was any other weirdos, or if I thought that people had a weird, I would stay away. But I do know that sometimes when I've met with high-level people in this business, I do feel that sometimes I turned them off because I was an open book. And they played it very close to the vest. And I'm like, you're fucking supposed to be with artists. Like, you're supposed to, and I just attributed it to them being, academic sticks in the mud. And, had no personality. But maybe it was more.
They didn't want you because you were too good for them.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
I believe that. I'm starting to believe that by listening to you and other people, but I don't know who is who, because I can tell you who's weird. I can tell you that dude's fucking weird. That dude's fucking weird. That's a weirdo. But I'm actually really starting to believe this is going to be crazy. So how can I say this in the right way? Did you ever see Rosemary's Baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously. That shit might be a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hi, hey. And the more I see people like that, I'm going, So would you agree that that is not a terrible assessment?
No, that's good. That's a good metaphor.
That the devil's greatest trick was
convincing people doesn't exist.
Yes, and I don't want to mean all crunchy and religious, but meaning that so would you agree that possibly the nicest people?
Yeah, and there's a lot of narcissism too, I think, going on. So people are wearing a lot of masks of niceness.
But the perceived nicest people might be completely emotionless, and that's just a game they play.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were talking about. You can act good, or you can be the bad guy because you're transcendent of morals.
I find that so if I go on stage and I say things that push back against things, people will come for me. And then there were these people that act like they're woke and social justice warriors. But really, I know that they're scumbags. And they're just doing it to look good.
Yeah.
So to me, I always trust people like myself because I dress and my pants might have a hole in them or whatever. It's the richest people that look like bums. It's the most honest people that don't try to impress, right? So that's what I do when I try to say stuff. And I always tell I'll be weary of the person with an edged beard and pleated pants. So I'm not wrong to say that some of these people that come off as super nice are completely fucked up. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the honey trap would be set if there was such a thing in certain cases for certain people, according to that person. So they would send the right person that they felt like, would be best to bring a person into a higher level. So they would know your profile, your persona, all of your likes and dislikes, your weaknesses. From the intelligence standpoint, that's what they would do.
I heard of one actor, and I was going to do a pod about it, but I'm scared to do it, that he was picked to be in the position he is, and they groomed him up. And I'll tell you off camera. And it made a lot of sense, and I saw guys sent me articles about it. So that's what I'm saying is I'm more and more starting to believe that no one really makes it, that they're picked. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
For that high level stuff, probably.
Yeah, I don't think it's based on merit. Let's put it that way. And talent, I think it's based on what you're willing to
it's
go along
both,
with.
don't you think? I mean, you got to have some
Well, yeah,
talent,
yeah.
and then you kind of get
Like who you mentioned before, he has a kind of a look that they're looking for, like an action hero physique and all that. So it's boxes that they tick, and then if they, are morally ambiguous, or if they have darker souls, like what you're talking about, then they get farther and farther.
So the darkest souls is what will get the farthest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expand, por favor.
Well, I think it's that way in most of the business world. I mean, they've proven that sociopaths get farther because they have that cutthroat mentality. But in Hollywood, yeah, I think if you are willing to do debaucherous things, you will get more doors open for you.
I mean, I'm in Hollywood, and I'm asking you. Isn't that fascinating? But I think, I was always believed on if you were talented, if you worked hard, and I guess I fucked up because I always said if you were a good person and not difficult, you would move ahead. And for the right people, that worked for me a lot, But if you run into psychopathic, kind of dead inside, no moralistic codes, they'll just discredit you and dismiss you.